Major Music.
What's good? Coming at y'all with another video. It's D Dot. It's been a little bit of time since we last talked. First and foremost, if this is your first time to my channel, you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Like to talk things all music production, whether that's music marketing, whether that is about plugins, software, even hardware, anything really production topic related. Like to talk about it here on this channel. You can go back and check out some of the videos that I've done on this channel. Everything from some of the gear that I'm using for my home studio setup and my Mac, from what I'm using to my mobile setup using the iPad Pro and some of the apps I use on there. So I like to cover all of those things. I basically used to do a radio show about music marketing, pro audio, and audio engineering. So recently had a chance to participate in the Beatober challenge by the producer, who's also another YouTuber, Tatro. Shout out to Tatro, by the way, for just doing the challenge, and everybody that I met along the way that was a part of the challenge. Just seeing people internationally, producers from different countries that were a part of the challenge, and just to see a lot of other people's vibes and how they create music. Not only that, I also got a lot from just watching people's videos and how they did their edits, and just overall like the backgrounds that they're using for their videos as well. And what I've also learned about myself, particularly over those 31 days, is everybody gets beat block. I even have stretches of beat block where I may not make a beat for a month, 2 months, whatever that looks like. But what I've learned about myself, you see, about 50% of my production is just, straight up from scratch, no sampling, things like that. And then the other half will be sampling. So there were days where I tried to create just from scratch and there were no ideas coming. I remember one of the days, actually this past week, I want to say it was Monday or so, and I literally sat down here in the lab for probably about 2-3 hours, and I was struggling to come up with something. So what I did then was I actually also have a Splice account, and I went onto the Splice website and just went through a ton of samples, and I found some samples because I also like to create a lot of boom bap style instrumentals. Most of my style kind of revolves around like boom bap, I would say a little bit of West Coast and some down south beat making as well. I kind of go between all three of those styles, and that's mainly what I did all month. Is I made a little bit of trap here and there, I made some West Coast beats here and there, I made some boom bap beats here and there, and I think switching between those different styles, along with the fact that I've also operated in different beat making programs, used also, like I used Machine, I used Beatmaker 3, Chord Gadget, I used the Noise app by Rolly, I used the MPC-1, I used Cubase's, trying to think of anything else, and Logic Pro, which also don't want to leave GarageBand out either. Those two I feel kind of go hand in hand. What it allowed me to do is, I feel like different programs and different apps will have a different workflow. One of the things about me is, as far as my primary beat making program or app, I would say at my house it's going to be Machine, and then when I'm on the go it's going to be more so Beatmaker 3. As far as like Machine, I've been using Machine for the better part of 10 years, maybe a little bit longer. I want to say around 2009 is when I really got into native instruments and the Machine. Before that I used Reason a lot, and then as far as like on the go, I use Beatmaker 3 a lot, simply because one of the things I feel it's, as far as like the way I have it all set up, I have a lot of my samples already imported into Beatmaker 3. Also the fact that Beatmaker 3 uses AUV plugins. That's gonna basically be like what a VST is to people that use computers, producers that use computers. A AUV is an audio unit version 3 plugin. You can use that inside of like Beatmaker. Also like GarageBand will be a audio unit host. Cubasis is another app that you can use audio units in. And I actually made a lot of instrumentals in between those 3 apps on my iPad. I do also do a lot of my mixing in Beatmaker 3 on the iPad as well as in Cubasis, simply because I like to do overall workflows of those for arranging and mixing, and again the fact that you can use audio units inside of those 2 apps. As far as like Machine on the iPad, how I have a lot of my samples already set up and organized, I have the same thing going on in Machine that I have in Beatmaker 3. So it's a lot easier for me to work and operate inside of Machine than a lot of the other apps that I use, just generally speaking. Now, one thing I also learned is I also have been a long time user of Logic Pro. Now, one of the things that I actually want to start doing a lot more of is making instrumentals inside of Logic Pro. Back when I think it was Logic 8, that was kind of the thing around maybe 2007, 2008. I used to switch between Reason and Logic around that time. And one of the things is, and you can even throw GarageBand in there, as I was kind of saying earlier, is I love these sound libraries inside of both those programs. I also like the whole arranger window because I feel like it allows me to arrange in a more timely manner. And then of course the fact that you can use audio units. Going through a lot of those different workflows, again, just allowed me to continue to remain fresh with creativity. And the other thing that really helped drove me was the fact that I was just seeing so many other talented producers from around the world that kind of inspired me and motivated me along the way. And there were times when I was making the beat, as I was kind of saying earlier, and I had no clue or no direction of where I was going to take this beat. And I just vibed with it and built up track after track, instrumental after instrumental. It just allowed me really to seeing other producers create and how they create. I've seen a lot of people use like Ableton. I've seen a lot of people use Machine. Seen a lot of people go DAWless. In fact, that's something else, using the MPC and the Arterial Micro Freak, as well as the Uno Drum and Uno Synth. I like the fact that you're working with knobs, you're able to tweak some things, and just the whole workflow of recording into the MPC. I did a couple of beats that were DAWless, some from scratch, and then some just working with samples, just like I did in all the other places as well. I think just during Beatober, it allowed my social media account to grow. I want to say I was probably around 920 or so, maybe around 900 even. And I think I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of around 975 or so. And then my YouTube channel as well. One of the things right now in particular is MPC beat making videos, just generally speaking, are kind of a trending thing on YouTube. So if you're into MPC1 and you're trying to grow your YouTube channel, I would focus a lot on just doing MPC videos. Now I kind of go across the board. I like making beats just in a variety of apps, as I said earlier. But you know, as far as driving traffic to my YouTube channel, I try to mix in that MPC1 video at least once or twice on a regular basis. Even though I did 31 beats in 31 days last month, on a regular basis I usually release at least 1, maybe 2 beat making videos a week, along with a video kind of like I'm doing right now. I don't want to really make this a long drawn out video. What I wanted to really do is just talk about my personal experience during the whole month of October, or should I say Beatober. If you have beat block it's okay to step away for a couple of days. You know, I like to do other things in regards to music, whether that is working on my website, whether that is working on some things YouTube related, and also mixing and just writing, because I'm also an artist away from doing this production, of course. And those things kind of help me stay driven. And then aside from that, I do other things outside of music, like gaming, working out, big sports head. As you can see, I love sports a lot, whether that's NFL, NBA, a little bit of baseball. That's kind of how I get over Beat Block. But to anybody out there that, you know, it doesn't have to be October for you to challenge yourself to create every day. If that's something you've never done yet, definitely create. You know, get yourself on camera, make some beat making videos. That's one of the ways that if you're trying to grow, whether that's on YouTube or whether that's on IG, you can definitely attract other producers as well as maybe artists that are interested in what you're doing. So don't be afraid to test yourself in terms of your creative boundaries. Try it. You know, it's November 1st. Some of y'all may see this video at another time, but give it a try and let me know how that works out for you. So, if you like this video, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. You could also follow me on Instagram at d.majormusic. Let me know you're from the channel. I do appreciate everybody that has subscribed to my YouTube recently, that has started to follow me on Instagram. There's a lot of producers that have some really good material, and I always encourage you just to get your music out there. I'm gonna do a whole separate video on getting all your music out there, but I do want to encourage you, just like all these other producers that I came across during Beatober that have inspired me to continue making beats daily. I'm kind of getting back to the videos like this, the more producer talk driven videos. So you're going to see a lot more of that this month. I'm pretty much going to probably spend a lot of this month, start off the holiday season as well as December, to kind of mix down some of the instrumentals that I've done during Beatober, as well as I have another project coming real soon. I just recently released the Dreaming Lo-Fi Instrumental beat tape on all streaming platforms, so if you get a chance to check that out, please do. I appreciate everybody as far as that then showed love to the project. And until next time, I'm out. Peace.